This is Devinder Kaur and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Enlightened Room. In this video, we're going to study about the valency, ions and ionic compounds. So let's get started. Well, I'm not going to start with any of these topics. I'm going to start with atom. Well, we all know that atom consists of a nucleus in which there are protons and neutrons, right, which are collectively known as neurons, right? And surrounding this nucleus, we have electrons which are revolving around it in a particular orbit, right? The first shell contains 2 electrons. The second shell will eventually contain 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let us assume we have now a sodium atom, this one. Well, how did I draw this? Well, sodium atom has the atomic number of 11. That means it contains 11 protons. That means it contains 11 electrons because atoms are electrically neutral, correct? So it would contain 2, in the second shell 8, and in the third shell 1 electron, right? So this electron tells us about its combining capacity, okay? That it would combine, like it would give its 1 electron to another element or to another atom to get stable because it is unstable now, okay? So the combining capacity of atoms is known as valency. So that means sodium has the valency of 1. Because it would share its 1 electron. Similarly, let us take an example of chlorine. At the center there are protons and neutrons in the nucleus, and then surrounds the first orbital that contains 2 electrons, then the second orbital that contains 8 electrons, and in the third orbital, how many electrons would be there? Well, the chlorine has atomic number of 17, right? Well, if it has the atomic number of 17, it means it has 17 protons. That means it has 17 electrons, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So only 1 electron, the deficiency of only 1 electron makes it unstable, right? So its electronic configuration would be 2, 8, 7. So to get stable, what chlorine would do? It would donate its 7 electrons in the third orbital, or would accept someone's 1 electron to get stable. Well, I guess accepting someone's electron is much better option. Similarly, for sodium, to borrow someone's 7 electrons is not a good idea. So it would donate its 1 electron. Okay. So this thing tells us about the combining capacity of different atoms of different elements, okay? So what will happen here? They would try to combine with each other by sharing their electrons. So what sodium would do, it would donate its 1 electron, that this outermost electron, which is also known as the valence electron, to chlorine, okay? So as it donates its 1 electron, sodium will get a charge, that is 1 positive charge, as it donates 1 electron, okay? Similarly, as chlorine is accepting an electron from someone, it would attain a charge of -1, and it will be named as chloride ion, not chlorine. Its name has been changed from chlorine to chloride ion. So these two combine to give us a compound. So what do you see from this? I had discussed the 3 concepts in this one example. I started from an example. Well, this is an ionic compound. Sodium ion and chloride ion are ions. The one ion that has a positive charge is known as cation. The one that has negative charge is known as an ion. So what you see, what ions are? Well, we had discussed about valency. Valency is the combining capacity of an atom. Okay. Well, what ions are? Ions are formed from the atoms when an atom loses or gains some electron. It gets converted into ion. And when two ions, okay, any cation or anion, when two or more ions combine to give us a compound, that is known as ionic compound, and that is an ionic compound. Okay. Now, there are different kinds of ions, like different kinds of cations, different kinds of anions. Just like in the case of molecules, we had studied there are different types of molecules: diatomic molecules, triatomic molecules, tetraatomic molecules, polyatomic molecules. Similarly, we have different types of cations and anions. Well, it would be better if you take a look at the table or chart in your book. That would be in the NCERT book or any kind of book if you're studying about the ions, ionic compounds and valency. Okay. So in case of cations, we have monoatomic cations. For example, H positive. Okay. For example, Na positive. You can take many examples. There are diatomic. In case of diatomic, we have Mg2 positive. We have Ca2 positive. In case of triatomic cations, we have Al3 positive. Okay. Similarly, in case of anions, well, I want to tell you one thing. We know about water. Okay. When we try to decompose the water, okay, we will get H positive and OH negative. Okay. This is known as hydroxide ion. So this is a anion which is OH negative, hydroxide ion which is an anion, monoatomic anion. Similarly, we have hydride ion as a monoatomic anion. Okay. Then comes a CO3 2 negative, carbonate ion. Okay. This is a diatomic anion. Well, further you can take various examples of it. You may take a look in your book at the different tables or charts which would be referred or mentioned in your book. So there are different examples of it. You can take the example of ionic compounds like HCl, H2SO4. Okay, now how come it is H2SO4? Well, SO4 2 negative is an example of diatomic anion. Okay, well, if it has 2 negative charge, so how does it come here? We will discuss about in next video when we will talk about how does a chemical formula forms. Like we would get to know about the rules of making the chemical formula. Okay, so this was our topic, valency, ions and ionic compounds. Okay, I hope you get that video, you get the idea, the concept. Okay, for more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you so much.